the strength he had left in his body. Without thought for his own safety, he hurled himself towards Metal Gear, his right hand reaching for the white button that would disarm the weapon. But his hand never made it. Sally leapt through the air with only seconds to spare before detonation. The dictator Gaddafi raised his pistol and fired. Who is Gaddafi? Do we know this person? Metal Gear, the ultimate super weapon. Agent Justin Halley, aka Solid Snake, a human fighting machine, smart, fast, and tough. Attack a heavily guarded terrorist base and destroy the ultimate super weapon. Metal Gear. Justin. Outcome. Succeed and save the world. Fail. And the free world is doomed. Oh, there's game solving hints throughout, you guys. So it's kind of like a guidebook too. Chapter 1. The mission. I forgot an important line of the story. Wait, I did. To complete the story of the Nintendo action-adventure game with loads of game-solving hints throughout. Alright. Justin Halley strode purposefully through the underground hallways of Foxhound Command. At age 20, he was the youngest captain ever to serve in the U.S. Marines Special Forces Anti-Terror Squad known as the Snakemen. Is this true? His code name? Solid Snake. This is based on the NES game, yeah. Hallie had a lot on his mind. 3 weeks earlier, 15 Snakemen. Half of the squadron had been dispatched from their underground training base on a top-secret mission. So far, not a single one of them had returned. Were they dead? Captured? Nobody knew. And none of the remaining Snakemen dared to speak of it out loud. They could only wait and wonder. Now, of the 15 Snakemen left, only Justin Halley had been sent for. The order had come directly from Commander South, head officer of Foxhound Command, the military unit controlling the Snakemen. Man snake, snake man, half snake. Man snake, I don't know about that. As Halley entered the command center, he saw the vast room was empty except for 3 people. Himself, Foxhound Commander Self, and Self's brand new second in command, Lieutenant General West. Self West was wearing his blue dress uniform, freshly cleaned and pressed, and so stiff that it could stand at attention all by itself. That's kind of weird. The spit polish on his black shoes gleamed. West was a by-the-book kind of officer, but he'd improve with time. Because being by the book is bad, as we know. This Snakemen squad would see to that. Solid Snake, we have a mission for you, Sal told Hallie, who stood straight and tall before him at attention, his dark blue eyes front. But it's voluntary, Captain Hallie. You don't have to go. It may very well cost you your life. In fact, the chances are 10,000 to 1 against you. Sir, Justin called out snappily, his gaze never wavering. Have you heard of Dr. Ivan Pedovic? Dr. Pedovic, the astrophysicist and nuclear scientist who defected to our side from the Soviet Union 6 years ago? Yes, sir. It's Petrovic. That's not his life. He needs that to live. Yeah, no, different guy. That's the man. 8 months ago, he was kidnapped, and he seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. We expected to hear that one terrorist group or another was claiming credit for his capture and was holding him hostage, but no word came. Repeats what he said to him. It's him, it's Snake, that's all, it's Snake, alright. Very natural sounding. You mean X, the guy who did the specific thing 86 minutes and 5 seconds ago? As we all know. This is Dr. Petrovic. Now we believe that he's in fact alive, but a prisoner. For some months now, our intelligence forces have been picking up random clues. We thought at first those clues were unconnected, but when we put them all together over a period of time, they began to point to a strong possibility. Now, we're fairly certain Dr. Petrovic is alive and hidden in a secret base of Colonel Vermin Gaddafi's base called Outer Heaven. Hallie's eyelids flickered, but he said nothing. Colonel Vermin Gaddafi. No junior officer, not even one of the Snakemen, would dare offer a comment to his commander unless asked to do so, but his pulse raced with excitement. But Colonel Vermin Gaddafi, the single most feared terrorist on the planet, a psychopath bent on dominating the world. His nature is so cruel as to verge on insanity. He was a total paranoid. His deeds, those of a madman. Colonel Gaddafi was a dictator ruling of a small but incredibly wealthy and savage desert country, Noria. Gaddafi's sole purpose in life is to bring the democratic nations to their knees. His terrorist actions were hideous, violent, always unexpected, and always effective, because they struck fear into the hearts of world leaders. Gaddafi bombed civilian aircraft, killed innocent people, took non-combatants hostage, and tortured them without mercy. Colonel Gaddafi, delicious. mission against Gaddafi. Hallie felt his heart swell with eagerness. Also, here was a chance to rescue his buddies, the lost Snakemen. Commander South continued. We now believe we've located the secret base. Satellite reconnaissance of a distant jungle has revealed an unfamiliar complex of buildings. Not in Noria, but somewhere else. I'm not authorized to share that information with you. Yes, Snakeman, okay, is normal and is not hilarious. It's a very not funny name for what's going on here. The Snakeman. Hold on, I need to sip the coffee. God, where was I? It's got the highest possible secrecy classification. I can only tell you it's impossible to conceal a compound of that size and fortification in a desert country, so they went to the jungle instead. Computer scans of satellite photographs show a huge base, larger than anything we've dealt with before, heavily protected and made up of a number of buildings. Hallie, it's our belief that this compound is outer heaven, and Dr. Petrovic, is our prisoner somewhere in there. 2 weeks ago, Dr. Petovic's daughter, Ellen, disappeared. Witnesses tell us she was snatched from her college campus as she was leaving her dorm. 3 masked men carrying automatic weapons jumped out of a long, black limo with phony license plates, forced her inside, and took off at 80 miles an hour. Yeah, I hope you get to meet some of the other Snakemen in the game that I'm playing. The Slither soldiers are very serious. They go to the jungle but get confused by multiple pairs of tracks in the mud. Yeah, and then they go, We believe now that Dr. Petrovic didn't give in under torture. Phony license plates are highly illegal, yeah. Now we're afraid that top secret nuclear information may have been taken from him, because they're holding his only daughter prisoner, threatening to torture or kill her. But that's not all. There's something else, Hallie. Something even more terrifying. Something that has us really worried. Yeah, this is a great read. It is hilarious. Our intelligence sources have hinted at something called Metal Gear. What Metal Gear is, and when it's scheduled to be launched against us, we don't know. We don't know what it looks like, whether it's airborne, or how it's armed. We don't even know how or when, or even whether it can be disarmed. We presume it's controlled by some hidden supercomputer, and that it carries a nuclear payload, but we can't be certain of any of this. Our information is too fragmented and too obscure. All we're sure of is that Metal Gear is the most powerful and evil weapon ever devised. It could destroy our planet and every little living thing on it. We've got to stop it before it's too late. Stand easy, Solid Snake. Justin Hallie took a step to the side and locked his hands behind his back. All his attention was focused on Commander South's words. 3 weeks ago, we parachuted half our Snakemen squad into the jungle, hoping they could infiltrate Gaddafi's hidden base and rescue Dr. Petrovic, or at least bring us back useful data on outer heaven information is from obscure Japanese manga. They can only find the barest bit of information on voyages. The Snakemen had no hands to pull the parachutes. Oh no, because they're legless lizards. There is some chance that one or more Snakemen may be held as prisoners. Our information on that is very scanty. I'm sorry to say. We can only hope that at least some of our men are still alive. Hallie's skin prickled in anger and revulsion at the thought of his friends, good men, perhaps dead, or even worse, alive under torture. Yet he said nothing. No flicker of emotion showed in his face. Only the strong muscle in his jaw clenched tight. I'm just giggling because the way I said it, I went scanty. Yeah, that's a big jump, I know. I'm cool. Understand me, Captain Hallie. This will be your first solo mission, but there's a very good chance it may be your last one. Beyond doubt, it's a suicide mission. We want you to locate Outer Heaven and search for and destroy Metal Gear. Destroy Metal Gear? A solo mission against overwhelming odds? Justin Hallie's neck hairs prickled at the idea of it, and the excitement made the red blood rush through his veins. Mission accepted. This might be too silly for asthma. We want you to go in alone. Continue. Oh, Commander South, just shut the frick up. Let's go to the jungle already. Continue, Commander South. Armed with nothing more than a compass. If you try and break in fully armed, you'll slow down. You won't last 5 minutes. We want you to be a shadow, to slip through unseen. Do you read me? Snakeblood's not red, are you sure? I think Snakeblood is red. Yeah, where's our Admiral North and West, okay? What do they got to say about this? Yes, sir! Every nerve in Bailey's mind and body were on red alert. Whatever weapons or equipment you need, you'll have to find on the spot, or make do without. Speed is what's important here. The mission has to be completed within hours of your arriving in Outer Heaven. Commander South's stern face and steady gaze told Solid Snake as much as his words did, that this mission was of the utmost importance. Look for a transceiver radio. When you locate it, tune into Foxhound Command's secret frequency. Then you'll be able to reach our radio transmissions. Oh my god, it's the codec. Oh, it's green. Someone get fact check. I need fact check on that. I gotta know. Look for a transceiver radio, and when you locate it, I read that. If you find any Snakemen alive and held as hostages, set them free. Rescue as many as you can, and we'll pick them up later. But be careful. Very careful. Captain Holly, even when dealing with Snakemen, don't take anybody's word or anything at face value. Some of the Snakemen may have broken under torture and turned double agent. You won't know for sure which of them you can trust. As for Ellen, Dr. Petovic's daughter, we don't know whether she's alive or dead. If you find her alive, she may be of some help with her father. Try to rescue Dr. Pedovic too, but if you can't, then you'll have to kill him. He's more valuable to the free world dead than alive in the dangerous hands of Colonel Gaddafi. Understood? Sir, said Solid Snake. It was understood. In a game of terrorism, the stakes were high and often fatal. The compass you'll be carrying is the latest technology. It will transmit everything you say, and it contains a homing device. We'll be monitoring you constantly on the command center's computer screens. I did shoot him when I played accidentally, yes. I didn't know, well, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I didn't think it would let me for some reason. It wasn't that, well, I mean, by means of the homing device and the compass, we'll be able to locate your position with pinpoint accuracy and target you to receive the radio transmissions that will give you up-to-date information. You won't be able to hear us through the compass, so you'll need to locate that transceiver as quickly as you can. Right, I tried to call the game's bluff. It was an oopsies. God, this guy can talk and yap and yap. As you penetrate the base, the radio broadcast will help you as much as it can. You'll be contacted by your agent, codenamed Diana. Diana. On wavelength level 33. She will be your control. She may sometimes identify herself as Boss Man. We can't tell you any more than that. Once again, Captain Halley only nodded without speaking. He understood fully the need for secrecy. Boss Man. Once you're in Outer Haven, you're completely on your own. Continue, Commander South. We can't tell you how the base is fortified or what traps Colonel Gaddafi and his forces might have set up to detect your presence and kill you. You have to elude all their traps, deal with their security forces, find our lost Snakemen and Dr. Petovic, locate which building houses Metal Gear, and somehow destroy the terrible weapon. It's a big job, Solid Snake. A very big job. It's the biggest mission one man has ever been sent on. 15 good Snakemen have already gone in, and not a single one has come back. We can't afford to lose the rest of the squad. We're counting on you, and you alone. But the decision has to be yours. We can't order you in there to face almost certain death. Will you do it? Knowing the one chance in a million? That's not what he said earlier. Of coming out alive, do you still volunteer? Just like in the game, they let you choose whether or not you want to do it in the NES game. He said... I can't remember what he said the odds were. But it was... but it was 1 in 10. 1,000 to 1. And now 1 in a million? Okay, dude. The odds are getting worse by the minute. It's like too much time has passed. I spent too much time talking. And now the odds are increasingly difficult. Sir! Yes, sir! Good. You'll leave in an hour, said Commander South, nodding. We haven't a moment to spare, but first, get rid of that uniform you're wearing. South scowled at the crisp olive drab fatigue suit that covered Solid Snake's muscular body. I thought this was a kid's book. We don't want you wearing or carrying anything that links you to your unit. This mission is top secret. You saw him Starkers? I didn't see no Justin Hallie Starkers, okay? Give us no need for more detail. This mission is top secret. We're issuing you a special camouflage suit. Pick it up at the quartermaster's, put it on, and be back here at 1400 hours. No dog tags. Wear no identification of any kind. Take nothing else with you that might connect you to Foxhound and the Snakemen, with the exception of this compass. Is that clearly understood? Nothing. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to inspect you third. No! What is this turning into? Remember when we had to save in Solo Buckle to send all those Bucklemen and Dr. Aranha, Vic? Captain America's butt was based on Snake? I believe it. Yes, sir! Justin saluted snappily, turned on his heel, and marched out. As the door to the command center closed behind Hallie, Commander South sighed deeply and rubbed his hand over his brow. Do you think he bought it? Asked General West softly. Hallie? He'll do as he's ordered. He's the best of the Snakemen. I hate to lose him. He's highly trained and qualified. It galls me to have to sacrifice Solid Snake. But that's the way it has to be if we're to stop this madman Gaddafi and this new infernal deadly weapon, Metal Gear. Sorry. Sorry for slipping in your ear. For a fraction of a second. Oh, tell me about the Snakemen. Who are they? Sorry. For a fraction of a second, South hesitated. The information on the squad was highly classified, top secret. But West was his new second-in-command and therefore entitled to be briefed. Codename Snakemen is a unit that doesn't officially exist. You won't find them on any roster in the Pentagon. But somewhere in Utah, in the silo deep underground, a picked elite force of 30 young Marine officers has been undergoing intensive anti-terrorist training. It's a different kind of training from anything you've ever imagined, West. In what way? General West asked curiously. In addition to being chosen for their courage, their intelligence and loyalty, for their incredible physical stamina and coordination, the Snakemen have been taught to survive with their bare hands. They've learned to create equipment and weapons out of nothing more than a hostile terrain. Any kind of terrain from big city to deepest jungle to driest desert. A dry desert even. At the same time, they're beginning top secret training in 21st century weapons that the world believes are still only on the drawing boards. I'm proud to say that our Snakemen are trained to handle virtually anything. Most important of all, this unit has been selected for their intelligence and swiftness of mind. The Snakemen have been trained to use their brains, outthink their opposition, and project themselves onto the actual mindsets of the enemy, so that they can strike first, just like the snake for which they're named. Snakemen use their brains before their guns in any situation, even when it threatens their own lives. Yet, they obey without a thought or question the orders of superior officer. In a world filled with warfare and terrorism, where space-age technology has made destruction of the Earth more than a possibility, the Snakemen have chosen to be saviors. The Snakemen, they're bad meow mother meowers. When this book came out, I don't know what year this book came out. And Holly, as I said, Justin Halley is the best of the Snakemen. He'll be almost impossible to replace, but we have no choice. Metal Gear is the most serious threat to democracy we've ever been up against. It's a weapon of unlimited potential for destruction. The future of the free world depends on our finding it and destroying it. If you're going to use Solid Snake as a diversion device, then why'd you give him the compass? Prompted West. It's a phony. It's just an ordinary government-issued compass. Nothing special about it. It's just something for Hallie to hang on to. But we will definitely be tracking him. The real homing device is a microscopic electronic unit sewed into the left sleeve of his new camouflage suit. That way, Jennifer can pinpoint him for radio transmission. Jennifer? You told Hallie Diana would be transmitting over the radio. Commander Sal chewed at his lip. Jennifer will also be transmitting, but Solid Snake won't actually pick up her signals because she'll be on a different frequency. He'll get Diana's instead, and she'll lead him around with false clues for as long as possible, so that we can buy a little time to set up the real raid. So, Hallie's to be used as nothing more than a decoy? General West looked puzzled. I'm afraid so. We're sending him to create a diversion, a smokescreen. Then the real attack by the full forces of Foxhound Command can take Colonel Gaddafi by surprise, catch him off guard, defeat him, disarm Metal Gear, and save as many of our Snakemen as are still alive and rescue Dr. Petrovic and his daughter. The commander smiled very sadly. West could see the pain in his eyes. He looked like that one stock photo of that old man, Harold, who had to smile through the pain. It was obvious that Commander hated the deception he'd been forced to practice on his Marine captain, Justin Halley. Captain Halley, a Solid Snake, is brave and loyal, and very fast on his feet. Most of all, he's logical and quick thinking. Of all the Snakemen we have left, he'll buy us the most time. So what you're saying is that Captain Halley is expendable? Asked West. Commander Sal sighed hopelessly. Worse than that. He's disposable. Oh. No. Not Solid Snake. What's he gonna do? I can't believe you're reading a book about someone who's gonna die. Poor Justin Halley. But sir, they're synonyms with the same word. They're teaching kids about synonyms in this book. Wait. Justin Halley sat in the dark glider, his long legs crimped up to almost his chest. What are these freaking descriptions of this dude? His seatbelt buckled across his shoulder and lap. The parachute strapped to his back. He'd been sitting like this for many hours. The glider was completely sealed. His little cockpit let in no light. Halley had no idea what direction the mother plane had carried him. All he knew for certain was that, at some predetermined point, just before the jet came within radar range of outer heaven, the glider had been released. Soon, it would lose enough altitude to come in low and escape enemy radar detection. Later, at some other preset time, the explosive bolts on the glider's cockpit cover would release, and Halley would parachute out and down into the unknown. From there, he'd be on his own. The sudden sound of the cockpit bolts exploding startled Halley, but the instant his eject seat hurled him out of the glider, every one of his senses was on red alert. The chute opened without effort, unfurled like a giant silken sail, and carried Solid Snake silently to Earth. He snapped the lines free and gathered the folds of the chute into a bundle he could carry. He looked around him, trying to see something again, but visibility was zero. Hallie had landed in complete darkness, in the middle of what felt like, and smelled like, jungle. Trees and vines were all around him, and there was a heavy, warm mist rising from the jungle floor. Seeing anything at all was impossible. Down in safe, he spoke to his compass. Oh, poor guy. Hoping that someone at Foxhound Command was online and monitoring him. All around him, Hallie heard the sounds of the jungle, of wild beasts. Night stalkers. And killer animals. It was too dark to travel. The sounds of monkeys laying eggs. The sounds of cave meow. You'd have to wait until dawn. Climbing up into a nearby tree, Hallie disturbed a sleeping tribe of little red monkeys who scattered through the branches, angrily chattering. Justin wrapped the parachute around him and settled into the crotch of the tree. I've never heard that expression. To grab a few hours of uneasy sleep. He didn't know when he'd get the chance to rest again. 3 hours later, Hallie awoke. Although the sun could barely pass through the thick jungle canopy, enough light penetrated to arouse Hallie. All of his senses on red alert, he looked around him in every direction. Apart from the animal and bird sounds of early morning, there was nothing. Justin climbed down silently to the jungle floor and set out on his mission, the search for outer heaven. Emmy's idea of killer animals sounds adorable. Yeah, you guys are highly trained soldiers. That's why you don't think of them as a threat, but trust me, my animal sounds very threatening. I've never had a nap under a tree. That sounds lovely though. Some highly developed instinct, the result of his Snakeman training, led his feet west. He noticed there were fewer birds and monkeys in that direction, and fewer animals always spells a dangerous presence of man. Animals were far from stupid. They could teach a man a few tricks about survival in hostile terrain. So west Hallie went, keeping it low and as quiet as possible. As he moved without sound through the jungle, Justin Hallie found himself suddenly in a patch of jungle growth that was fouled by a strong, almost sickening odor. His nose wrinkled. Solid Snake recognized that smell. Panther musk. It might be a useful weapon. What? Rubbing himself against the jungle plants, Hallie let the heavy, musky cat smell seep into his suit of camos. Now, he smelled exactly like a jungle killer. Other animals would keep out of his way, unless, of course, he should bump into another male panther. Then to be in for the battle of his life. Solid Snake smiled at the thought of himself in a cat fight, although it'd be no laughing matter if it actually happened. At last, after 3 more miles of trudging through dense, dank vegetation, Justin Hallie saw the light ahead. That could only mean a clearing. A man-made clearing. Trees had been cut down around a huge circle, several miles wide, and the leafy canopy had a large hole in it now. Sunlight poured down. Careful now. Hallie crouched down and edged forward very slowly. On the edge of the clearing, he stopped. Bingo. The military trucks with a strange insignia painted on their sides were parked in the clearing, 2 of them close together, and the third one much further off. The insignia, a grinning, fanged reptile entwined around a twisted, broken tree, was something Hallie didn't recognize, but it had a menacing quality that struck a familiar chord deep inside him. It told him that Metal Gear wasn't far away. Beyond the trucks, about half a mile away and surrounded by a high electrified fence, stood a vast compound of sealed-off buildings. They appeared to be made of cast concrete or heavy stone, and they had no visible windows. Solid Snake grinned. The satellite photos of Foxhound Command were on target. This massive and menacing compound must be outer heaven. Solid Snake sat back and spoke softly into his compass. I think on that mission site, I have visual idea of potential target. Looks like outer heaven, guys. He waited a minute, hoping for a reply, maybe a beep of some kind to let him know his home base had him on the computer screen, but there was no return transmission. Was the monitoring system working, or had he been cut off from Foxhound Command? He'd have to locate a radio transceiver as soon as possible to find out. Justin stood up carefully, looking in every direction. As he did, the jungle silence was broken by a sudden ear-splitting chorus of snarls and growls, 6 barking, killer dogs. Giant, half-starved Dobermans burst out of one of the trucks. Their fangs were enormous, white and sharp. Their powerful jaws dripped with foamy saliva, snapping and howling. They raced toward Hallie at top speed. Toxins! Alright. That's where we're gonna stop for today, guys. What a freaking cliffhanger. How's Justin Hallie, Solid Snake of the Snakemen, gonna get out of this one? How is he gonna infiltrate? What's his name? Gaddafi. Gaddafi's outer heaven lair. We'll have to find out on the next episode of Metal Gear. Yay! What you guys think? This is a high effort meow post. I did not expect it to be quite this silly, but it was a little fun, a little silly, little giggles. I know you guys sometimes. Normally I try not to laugh during ASMR, but I thought maybe this one I'd just let it ride, you know. The actual events kind of following the game pretty closely, kind of. It went into so bad it's good territory. I agree. I like it. We can read more sometime. Yeah, I know it's short, but it's been almost an hour. I have to prepare for my loopy stream later today, so feels like a live action adaptation, like bad. You mean like bad? Alright, let's continue sometime. I think next week I will either do some kind of roleplay ASMR or just a chit chat tea time kind of thing. Whatever I'm feeling at the time. And then we can continue Metal Gear some other time, okay, guys? I hope it wasn't too silly. Thanks for joining me. My throat is a little bit sore today, but I'm gonna be fine for the stream later. But let's have a good Thursday. Almost at the end of the week, you guys. So let's try and take it easy. And then we can enjoy Friday together tomorrow. And enjoy the weekend, okay? Thank you guys so much for hanging out while I read a story. A silly story. And I will see you hopefully later